Pupils from 4 primary and secondary schools from across Cumbria were invited to give a talk at a summit in Carlisle regarding their concerns about climate change.
We spend a lot of time doing our duty of educating, of filling with knowledge and understanding about the world that the young people live in. Then when they're confronted with the science of climate change, they say, well, hang on a minute, there doesn't seem to be much being done about this, and they want to have their say. They are correctly surmising that the world is in peril, and understandably, it's their inheritance. They want it to be set to rights. So each school represented has already spoken to their school councils, asked the children throughout the school, what do you want us to say at this? And then their representatives have come here to convey the sense of what the young people are saying in that school.
A number of other speakers from organisations within Carlisle were also invited to give a Q&A for the children.
Today is Cumbria's first ever Youth Climate Summit, which is wonderfully exciting. We've seen this upsurge in activity from young people around the country around climate change, and people are now scared. We know that we've got 12 years left to act on climate change, and that fear is turning into anger. We've seen the youth strikes. Now we have young people from across the county getting together to work out what we do about it. And I think every grown-up that's listening, everybody in a position of power needs to be listening to their voices and what they decide today. Either asking how can we get an audience with people in positions of power to actually change what they think and get them to listen to our voices? How can we influence local politicians? How can we influence local businesses? How can we change things in our school? But quite often they have the ideas, they understand the climate science, they've got really good solutions, they just need a bit of a helping hand to meet with the people who they want to influence.
We asked how the recent upsurge in activism from young people internationally has affected public consciousness.
Massively significant. It has shifted the public mood unbelievably. So now when I go to the school gate, people are speaking to me about climate change, whereas in the past that would not have happened. I've worked in this field for 15 years now, and the surge in public opinion and interest has just shifted things. We are seeing businesses coming to us saying, our customers are asking us what we're doing about climate change, can you support us? We are just getting hundreds and hundreds of inquiries from people saying, what can we do to change this? How do we influence politicians? What do we do to change society? And so much of that has come from the young people themselves, and we need to listen to their voices, because they, more than any of the rest of us, will be the ones who are impacted by climate change.
The event was hosted by the University of Cumbria, who believe that they should provide adequate space for the kids to voice their concerns.
Obviously, we value our partnership with schools, and children were asking head teachers, and head teachers were asking us, what can we do? And this is what we came up with. And so, as I say, the children and young people are organising the event. We're providing a venue, and we're really pleased to do that. We think it's very important. We think that we should be listening to young people, and we think maybe grown-ups have made a mess of one or two things recently, and maybe we need to listen to the voice of children, and they're the young leaders of the future.
The children chosen represented each of their individual schools with concerns they had collated from fellow pupils.
It's sort of quite a controversial subject, because I personally think it's sort of terrible. Then there's also some people that just don't believe it's true. And we're going to be talking about climate change and what we think needs to be done about it, and what our concerns are about it. We don't think enough people are doing things about climate change.
We want to see a difference in the way that people try and solve the crisis, and we think that everyone can participate and do their bit.
We're here to present a speech at the first climate change summit. We're going to be talking about all the things that are destroying our planet.
With monthly strikes still taking place up and down the country, and many impassioned young leaders speaking here, it doesn't look like the kids in Britain are planning on getting quieter on the issue of climate change anytime soon. Ciara McFadgen, That's TV.